Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here in the Maverick, heading down the road. I'm heading to work. Yes, we have big Maverick news for today, and let me start off with news about upcoming things in the Maverick world. If you go to the Maverick Truck Club site, you will see, if you look for it, some recent spy photos of a Ford Maverick ST. Yes, I did say ST. Apparently, Ford is at least in the testing stages of a Ford Maverick ST. So, like everything's Ford Maverick, go to the Ford Maverick Truck Club site, where you can always find some awesome articles and information on the Ford Maverick. Second thing, Ford Mavericks are starting to come into the dealerships. I have seen even at my local dealership, which I did visit yesterday, and I have some information about the dealership that I'll give you also at the end of this, towards the end of this video. They had some Ford Mavericks. Now, were they marked up? I did not inquire. The particular dealership that I was visiting has had a reputation for always marking up those vehicles which are in demand. Not saying it, throwing any shade at the dealership, that's what they do. But on yesterday I did go to the dealership because I needed some work done. So that being said, there are some things that you guys need to be aware of as far as the Ford Maverick, and if you intend to lower your vehicle such as I have done. First and foremost, in the last video I did speak about the Strut tower brace, that I was having a clunking noise every time that I hit the gas, and as you initially hit the gas and go from zero to moving, you get like a clunk every time. Tried everything that I know how to do. I have one more trick that I am going to try this evening when I get home from work, because I did notice some things when I actually removed it. I actually removed my Strut tower brace, and just as it did the last time that I did that, the clunk noise went away. So as you can see, I'm pulling off and there's no clunk. In the last video, there was a clunk every time when I had that mounted on there. And it's mounted on there exactly as it's stated in the directions. Not sure why. I've tried everything under the sun to stop it from doing that. I got one more trick that I'm going to try this evening, and I'll let you know how that goes. But that being said, if you are going to lower your Ford Maverick, there are some things that I have discovered now that I've had my lowering springs on there for quite a while. And on yesterday, I did take it to get an alignment, and I said already that I will tell you about how that went towards the end of this video. One of the things that I hadn't done in the last previous videos was carry a number of passengers and also drive the Maverick in its current state. And I will say this, it's a bit stiffer, and I said in the previous videos, a lot of that is not just the lowering springs, also the brand and type of tires that I have. I have a Performance Nitto radial tire on here, which has quite a bit stiffer sidewall than the stock wheels and tires that I had on here. You all been following the channel for any length of time. Certainly you know that I had the XLT painted wheels, which I did sell to a very nice young man last week. I sold him my tire setup, which tells you that I'm still committed to keeping this in its current lowered state, because that's what I like. That's what is suited for me. Is it suited for you? That is the question. Well, it handles great. Even without the strut tower brace in there, which stiffens it quite a bit. It still handles great. I love the way it handles. I'm primarily a guy who drives this daily to work, and on occasion my family and I get in here and go somewhere in it, and that's basically it for me. However, as I'm about to approach this railroad crossing right about now, not so bad. But while we were out driving in the mountainous areas where I was not prepared to slow down, I had my wife and my daughter in the back, and we went over a railroad crossing, and it had a dip at the back side of it. The back, I mean, when we went over that, we were going probably faster than I should have been to go across that railroad crossing. It was probably about, I was probably doing about 35, 40. And yeah, when we came over the other side, the suspension in the rear with the load of my daughter in the back, we had you definitely hit those bump stops in the back. So that's what you need to be aware of if you're going to lower your Maverick. Was it terrible? No, but it is noticeable if you're going, a person who's going to have this as your daily driver, and you have passengers in there all the time. It's noticeable, and I'll say that. Is it terrible? No, but it is noticeable. So you have to decide whether you want to lower your Maverick. I love the stance. It looks okay with the wheels and tires that I have on here without it being lowered, if you like that four-wheel drive look, but that's not for me. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. I've noticed a lot of people who have raised their, or shall we say, leveled their Mavericks with lift kits and all of that type thing, and that's cool if that's what you want. Surely if you have an FX4 model, you may want to do that. So as the Mavericks are starting to come out, there are more and more on the highway. I'm seeing them all over the place. Stay tuned. We are exactly 5 weeks away from our Maverick meetup at Dominion Raceway. And matter of fact, the other day when I sold my wheels and tires, I met the gentleman who is waiting on his 2 Mavericks at Dominion Raceway. I also have a lunch date at Dominion Raceway on April the 5th, where I'll be meeting, touring the facilities, and you will see a video on that. I do have a sponsored video coming up, and I'd hope to do that already, but we are waiting for the items to come in, and then I will do an install and review of those products that are coming. In the meantime, I also promised you a video of launching the boat. Well, the month of January and February, we have had a zero kind of winter. No snow, no ice, virtually, and very little in the way of cold or even wind. Well, now that we have arrived into March, the last couple of weekends, it has been much colder. We have been doing 70s and 60s all the way through January, February. In the last few days, it's been in the high 40s with winds of 20 miles an hour. So definitely not a time when I was going to get out on the water. But I did have a day in there where it got up to close to 60 degrees. I said, I'm going to take the boat out. I'm going to do the video. Got to the place late because we had some unforeseen circumstances at the house. Got ready to launch the boat. I did something, in hindsight, stupid. I was going to launch the boat, show you how the winch will load it and all those things that I was going to do. As I'm backing down the ramp, I went out before I backed down the ramp to make this, to quantify what I'm going to tell you. Before I back down the ramp, it's customary for myself to undo all of the straps and everything that holds the boat onto the trailer. Now, at most ramps, I can do that and get away with just back in and then slide the boat off. Well, this particular ramp that I went to test, is a very steep one. And the trailer on the back of this is very short compared to all of the other trailers that I have used personally. So it is quite a fun task to keep that trailer going straight when you're going down a heavily steep boat ramp. And as I'm backing down the ramp, trying to keep it straight, the trailer's trying to turn this way and that way. I hit the brakes and the boat slid straight off the trailer onto the ground. And thank God there was two other gentlemen there launching on the ramp, and they're looking like, what is this dude doing? Is this his first rodeo? And I'm sure it probably looked that way. But yeah, the two fellows helped me. We picked up the boat. It's not that heavy. I could have done it by myself, but I was glad they were there to help. We slid the boat back up onto the trailer. I put one of the little straps on to hold it, launched the boat, launched fine, and we came back. It was too late to do the video, but I did have to do some tweaks on the trailer, and I will continue to work that out. It's about 95%, and I'm going to show you guys once I have all the bugs worked out. But I did use the winch, and it did pull the boat right back up onto the trailer. That part was great, but we will be bringing you a video of that soon. But let's get back to the Maverick and what we found out on yesterday. So I had a scheduled appointment to have the curtain airbag recall taken care of, and this is at Purvis Ford in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And they also were going to do my alignment because I had wanted my lowering springs to completely settle and make sure everything's good to go, and then taking it for alignment. I left mine night before last, and I was hoping to get it back, earlier in the day, but they informed me that, and you need to know, when I dropped it off and had an appointment for 7:30 in the morning, they said, well, that curtain airbag deal is not a quick thing to do, and the Maverick would be there most of the day. So I said, okay, that's fine. They called me probably at 3 p.m. to let me know that they had finished the airbags and they were about to do the alignment, to let me know that the alignment was going to be $107. It was $107.95. Now, I had no problem with that because I wanted to get it aligned. Well, that was the last call that I got, and I went to pick it up, and the total bill was $113.64. Now, I'm not sure where this customer pay hazardous waste disposal for repair order. I'm not sure what that is. Anybody else chime in? Let me know if you know what that means. But they charge $5.40 for hazardous waste disposal for repair order for an alignment. $5.40. So the total bill was $113.64. You say, oh, okay, that's what an alignment costs. That's cool. Now, this is in no way or shape or form to throw shade at the dealership. And if you guys know anything about any of you guys who've had your Maverick lowered and your alignment, please let me know. I'm not new to the automobile industry or the automobile repair field because I worked in that the first part of my early life. And here is, I'm going to tell you exactly what it says. Performed alignment to manufacturer specifications. Note, vehicle is lowered, comma, cannot adjust camber or caster, could only adjust front toe. Now, I knew going in that there are some who have been purchasing camber bolts from Airbag, and I'm sorry if I've said Airbag in the past because I've always known it to be Airbag, but I saw somebody on YouTube say Airbag, and I'm like, maybe I'm saying it wrong. It's Airbag. Airbag lowering springs informed that they have a longer camber bolt to remedy the fact that you can't adjust the camber. I'm not sure if that had to do with that. I don't know. But what it says, cannot adjust camber or caster, could only adjust front toe. No adjustment on rear. So is that saying that there was no adjustment on the rear, or that the rear didn't need any adjustment? I don't know. There was no one that I could ask when I picked it up. So, you know, it's one of those things I may call later. I don't know. But you guys let me know. If you've had your Maverick lowered and you went to have the alignment done, let me know what you found out. So that's where we are. It's I'll say this, it has driven and ridden perfectly in the lowered stance. I hadn't noticed any kind of tire wear whatsoever. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. You know, if there's a big issue or a problem, you know, I can always put the stock springs back on, because I did save those. But it's just one of those things to note. If you're going to lower your Maverick, make sure that you know all these things, and that's something that you want to consider before you do yours. So we do have the Maverick meetup coming up in April 23rd at Dominion Motor Speedway. We will be doing a drive-in. On the very next video, we will have locked in the place that we're going to meet up on that Sunday, and then we're going to drive in to Dominion Motor Speedway for the actual meetup. But that is the main news that we have for today. So that's where we'll end this video. Anyway, you all continue to tune in. There is more information coming on the way. And there's also some more news on another Maverick meetup that's coming up. And it's coming up at Carlisle, PA, at the Fords at Carlisle. So tune into the Maverick truck site for that. And there's a way you can sign up to be a part of that. Myself, I will not be able to go. I believe it's a 2 or 3 day weekend. But yeah, keep tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.